the single item that you hope you absolutely never have to use. What's going on, everybody? Today, you find me stranded in the woods. Well, thankfully, I'm not actually stranded in the woods, but if I was, I would be prepared. And today, we're gonna talk about just how I prepare for any situation with my truck. We're talking truck EDC. Not just any truck EDC, we're talking electric truck EDC. So I've broken up what I carry in my truck into 3 buckets that I think will be most relevant for everybody out there. The first and most important is the gear I think is relevant to any single vehicle in any single situation. Whether it's a truck, whether it's a car, whether it's an SUV, whether it's gas or electric, we got you covered. The second is going to be things that are specific just to electric vehicles, or in my case, an electric truck. And the third are really, really specific things we'll go quick with, are things that are just relevant to me and what I carry in my truck every day. Stick around. Okay, section 1, the kit I think everybody should have in their car. Now this is not a minimalistic kit and it's not an over prepared kit, right? I'm not a prepper, but I like being prepared. And I have the space, right? So this is the one thing. I've watched a lot of truck EDC videos, and one of the things I always hear people talk about is the trade-off between what you have on you and also the space you have in your vehicle to use it, right? Whether it's got to roll around the bed of a truck, whether it is got to take up seating space or underfloor storage here. But here's the real win for the EV trucks. I got a whole frunk. Everything you're looking at here, plus a couple other things for section 2, all stay in my frunk, right? I do have the ability to move them into the bed of the truck should I need to use the frunk for something else. But for the most part, those things sit up in the frunk. I have very little cargo that's actually inside the bed of inside the cab of the truck. So then that way, if I have people in the car, if I'm moving around, I don't end up having to shuffle things 5 different times. That's a huge advantage to the electric truck, which I'm loving this Lightning. It's the best of both worlds. All right, category 1, the gear that I think every vehicle should have, whether it's a car, a truck, an SUV, gas, or electric. Now, let me be clear, this is not a minimalistic setup. It's not the bare minimum. It's also not over the top. I'm not a prepper, but I like to be prepared. So this is probably on the middle to higher end of things people would have in a vehicle, particularly a truck. Here's the good thing, right? I watch a lot of truck EDC videos, and one of the things I hear people often talk about is the trade-off between the kit and the space that they have and how they use their vehicle on an everyday basis, right? Whether it's things rolling around the back of the truck, whether it is there's other toolboxes or other stuff that they're using with the truck, whether it's stuff in the cab of the truck that takes up seat space or underfloor storage or things they have to move around. This is the one thing I've been absolutely loving about this 2022 F-150 Lightning is the frunk. So I don't have that trade-off, in my opinion, at any point. Everything you see here, plus a couple extra things that's gonna be in category 2, stay in the frunk. I have a little bit in the bed, and I have very, very little in the cab. So I don't feel like I'm ever trading off between, do I need to use my bed? Do I have more people in the cab? I think this setup works really, really well for me. And the 3 storage spaces that this electric truck with the frunk have give me the perfect benefit. Okay, so first we're gonna jump into it. This, a really good heavy duty canvas tarp. This has so many different uses, right? Whether it's ground cover, whether it's shelter, whether it's protection from the elements, so many different things can be used for a canvas tarp, and not those cheap tarps. You spend a little bit of more money. They're heavy, they are bulky, but believe me, when you want to use this and you really need to use it, this is going to be a game changer. Second, now this is probably overkill, and for most people I wouldn't put it in there, but for me, it's a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. This is actually a Carhartt dog mattress pad. We have a dog. It's a nice in there, but to me, this doubles as a kneeling pad. I got to change a tire. I got something going on the side of the road. I don't want to be in the gravel like we're sitting here today. This will save your knees. This will save your back. But a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, or really 99 times out of 100, the pup uses this thing. So he needs to be spoiled too. These are great. Most people have these in their car anyway, but I like specifically these. I got these free with Snake River Farms order. Shout out Snake River Farms. So it's kind of like this insulated, zippered up bag. So if I need to keep something cool, if I need to keep something warm, I have it. But most of the point, I just have a really good, high quality, reusable bag. Most of this is just daily groceries, but it's great. All right, now let's dig in. This is truly the kit that I build. So I put it all into this. I believe it's a Husky box, little storage tote here. So that way, if I move from vehicle to vehicle, I can bring, and I don't have to worry about what I do. It's not an all-day affair to pack it. It is a Husky. So let's jump in no particular order, right? A pretty good med kit. This is not comprehensive. It is a mix of trauma and a mix of boo-boos, right? So a lot of Band-Aids, a lot of gauze, some tourniquets, things like that. Just a really good med kit with easy identification with the cross on it. And it's Velcroed, so if I want to stick it to the felt of my truck in there for easier access, I have that as well too. Next, this is just like a little multi-tool axe slash hammer combo. I think something like this is really useful where I don't want to bring a whole bunch of other like outdoor survival tools. Like I said, I like to be prepared. I'm not a prepper, but you have some wrench action, you can cut, you can hammer, you can pry, you got a little blade, you can flip things off. So just in a pretty compact package, it does a lot of things for you that hopefully you never need, but if you do need them, you're gonna be really, really glad you had them. So that's that, get you out of the way. Next, tools. Okay, really, really small toolkit. I got like a Harbor Freight wrench socket. I got a Cobalt sockets, driver, small little piece. And I carry 2 Leathermans. So one, this is actually a Gerber, not a Leatherman, but you get the idea. Gerber multi-tool. So this stays in this kit at all times. I also keep one in the truck with me at all times. Always good to have multi-tools. You know, small little jobs, you always need something for them too. So a really basic toolkit. I'm not over the top with tools. I gotta be honest, this thing breaks down. I'm not a gearhead. I'm not fixing stuff on the side of the road. If you're broken down and I find you, I'll offer you the tools, but I'm probably not gonna be the guy to help you. Flashlight, this is another thing, redundancy. What I like about this Nebo, I don't know the model, it's the Slide Plus, I guess, is a couple different beam options, zooms, 4x zoom, but it also extends and it's magnetic. Now the downside to being magnetic is this entire truck is aluminum, so nothing sticks to it. So if you do find some metal bits, it's really nice to be able to stick that on. I carry one in here at all times. I carry one in the truck at all times as well too. I am going, these are battery operated. I am gonna make the switch to also carry a redundant USB-C charging. There's just so many ways to charge things that I find in today's world, that's a better bet than batteries, because I don't actually have any spare batteries in this kit, which is a gap in my kit. Really basic, fix a flat, same thing. This isn't gonna get you across the country, but this might get you from where we are here to a place where you can, you can get to a tire shop, or you can get to a place where you can make a a real change, saving you from having to change the tire on the side of the road. Just some cordage, always good, whether it's using the tarp, whether it's tying down. Cordage is always a good thing to have. Gloves, 2 different kinds of gloves. I got these free from an event, just some leather hide gloves. You never know when you need a pair of gloves like that. And this one though, these are something, there's an FXR, these are technically snowmobiling gloves. But what I like about this, and I think is an essential thing for gloves that you're gonna keep in the truck, is having something that has a very, very high cuff that also can tighten up, because if you got to get down and you got to do something in the snow and you're stuck and you're not sure how long you're going to be there, if snow starts getting in and you start getting cold, it starts getting a lot more uncomfortable there. So a good set of gloves, or a decent set of gloves, but more importantly with a nice big snow cuff on them, is really important. Staying in the gloves theme, just a lot of, I think these are 3 mil rubber gloves. Just to keep yourself from getting dirty, or if somebody's bleeding on the side of the road, just never a bad time. Or you find yourself at a pop-up tailgate and you want to be hygienically sound, mixing up some food for people. You look like a pro chef on the move, ready to go. Little Carhartt beanie, always good to have an extra warmth. A lot of heat escapes from your head. That's always a good thing to do. The number one thing everybody should have, water. I keep water in the truck. I keep a couple bottles of water in here at all times as well too. This one, a little jump box. Mike, it's an electric vehicle. Why do you need a jump box? Well, you can't have 12 volt issues with trucks, which a small little 12 volt issue will stop a big battery from working. But the other thing too is, you know, I like to be a good Samaritan. You see somebody who needs a jump on the road. I don't want to go pulling off cable, plastic parts of the truck to be able to give them a jump. I got to be honest, I'm not actually even sure how to technically jump another vehicle from this, but I do know how to jump a vehicle from this, so it's nice to have it. And the other thing is, make sure you get one that's got nice other USB-C outs. So, you know, you find yourself with a dead truck, no way to charge something, and a dead phone, you have a little emergency way to charge up a phone. It also does have some lights, so gives you a bunch of different versatility and a nice little jump pack there. Do some towing from time to time, so a little 7-pin to 5-pin and 4-pin adapter. I can't tell you how many times when I just had a 4-pin adapter, well, I have a built-in 4-pin, as well as a 7-pin in the truck. But then you get those, you know, electric surge brakes that have the 5-pin, and you're like, oh man, I'm stuck. I don't have a way to connect the lights. Got that, keep that in the truck at all time. Tow rope. I think this is Rhino, and I want to say it's 30,000 pound brake, 10,000 pound working load, 30,000 pound brake limit. So whether I need a tow out or whether somebody else needs a tow out, I got that there just in case. A really nice high quality wool blanket. I like to keep it wrapped up in this bag so it stays dry, it stays fresh when I need it, you know, whether you're stuck on the road or whether you find yourself at a fireworks show, or it's really nice to have just a nice blanket that you can use right on hand and not have to worry about picking it up. Emergency flare kit. This is an emergency kit, comes with triangles, comes with a safety vest, comes with some flares. Always good to have that. I have thought about a USB-C version of this, but I find that, you know, I haven't ever had to use them, thank God. But right now that's what I got. Now, the last grouping of things in here, right? This is where we're really going to get into that like survival type instance. This is where, again, not a prepper, like to be prepared, but this is probably things I hope I never have to use. These are all fairly practical things that have multiple uses. These next things are kind of like single use stuff in emergency situations. So the first thing I got here, and I like to kit them up into different little packages. So in this, we got some fire starter, we got some Bics, we got some ferrule rods, we got some small tinder, we got a knife sharpening brick. We have more kind of cheap cordage. We have an emergency blanket, and we have a Mylar blanket for shelter. So this is kind of fire shelter, fire and shelter in here. Just some random clips, some safety pins, some, I don't even know what this is, like it's like a tensile strength cordage, but it's not cordage. It's like a gear tie type deal. And some Gorilla Glue, super glue, comes in handy. We have this Survival Medic. This is the SOL, the Survive Outdoor Longer. This is their fire starter kit. So I think I got this first, and then I kind of built my own. So I just got redundancies for fire. Moleskin, bandages, sports tape, gauze, just you get anything and you got to make some moves, you know, make sure you're all good there. And then this is all water filtration. I got a life straw. I got collapsible bags that I can then take that and fill up to have portable water. And I have a lot more in here just because it fits. Some cotton balls for more fire starting. And then the single item that you hope you absolutely never have to use, but you will be so glad if you ever do. And just to be clear, I've never had to use it. An emergency roll of toilet paper. Never want to be caught without one of these, and you never want to be in a situation where you got to use one of these. But we got it just in case. All right. That wraps up the kit. You can see all of this stuff with the exception of the tarp, with the exception of the dog bed. It all fits nicely in this tote. It can move from car to car. You are going to be pretty self-sufficient for a little bit. The one thing I don't have in here is food. I used to carry emergency bars, but they would get out of date. They were called, same thing. I'm not a prepper. My thing is I'm not going to say, all right, I'm hunkering down. I'm going to be out here for 72 hours. I just want to make sure if I get stranded on the side of the road while I'm in a snowstorm or, you know, anywhere that it happens, that I'm just reasonably prepared to be able to seek help and be able to get to a point where I can get to safety and I can find food. You can survive without food for a while, can't survive without water for a while, so we definitely have that in there. All right, that's the kit for every vehicle. Okay. On to section 2 and section 3. We're going to combine these two into one. So section 2 is things that are specific to EV trucks. Okay. So the first and foremost, or really EV vehicles, I guess is probably a better way to say it, is our mobile charge connector, 110 and 240 enabled. We have that there. And then I just have this little canvas bag. That in this bag is all of my different adapters. So this is a NEMA 1450 to a NEMA 1430. So if I want to plug into the 30 amp I have here, be able to plug my 40 amp charger, or really 32 amp charger for the NEMA 1450 plug, I can use this to be able to bail somebody out on the side of the road, or if I want to offload power at 30 amps to a 50 amp plug, then I can do it. Electron Tesla to J1772 adapter for level 2 charging. And then this came with the truck. This is a J1772 adapter for Tesla vehicles. I've never quite understood, other than maybe to troll Teslas, that we could charge a Tesla on the side of the road. Not sure why I would ever actually use this, but it came with the truck. So I keep it just in case somebody needs it, and just some netting in case I just have some extra netting in there that came with the truck. So it just kind of stays together with it. So this is really, truly what's specific to electric vehicles. That really kind of figures that. That's a pretty simple kit just for electric vehicles to have some of them. Now we're going to shift into the things that are specific to me and my truck. I like to carry a little 110 volt air compressor Efficiency is such a big thing, and tire pressure, whether it's lower or higher, has rolling resistance. So if your tires get too low on a road trip and you're at a charging station and you want to, get those that PSI back up so you get optimum performance, you can do it without having to detour off the road, and you can use that time at chargers more effectively with all of the built-in power that this has. That's actually probably going to be a whole nother video, is how I use the Pro Power Onboard, because I continue to find ways that thing amazes me. But a little air compressor is really good. What I like about it is you can just set the PSI, press the button, walk away, and it shuts off. And it was relatively cheap. I think I found it on Amazon for like 50 bucks or something like that. It's really good. Gloves. You saw a couple gloves in the every vehicle kit. I have gloves. Gloves are something, you can never have enough gloves, right? So I have 2 different types of gloves and 2 versions of each different type of gloves. So I have kind of that like deerskin, leatherish gloves, right? No insulation and insulated. So if I need a little warmth or I don't, I always keep these in the car. Quite honestly, never want to lose them. So the insulated gloves stay in the car year round, as do the non-insulated ones. And then, I have some of these, I don't even know what they call these, like the rubber texturized gloves. These are insulated. These are not. I find myself using these all the time, right? It's like I travel for work a lot. I'm dressed a lot nicer than I am now, or I'm going into a meeting and I want to play with the charging cord and I don't want all that dirt and grime and stuff on my hands for the charging cord. I throw these on, roll up the cable all nice, so I'm a good steward of charging. I used to use these when I was pumping gas. Don't do that so much anymore, but find these things really useful, whether I'm breaking down cardboard or whatever it is. I use these gloves a ton. I go through them quite a bit, but they're cheap. You can find them in any store, Amazon, all that good stuff. 2 things that are hyper specific to me. I'm in the wine business, so got a nice little box cutter. Never know when you got to make a display, and a really nice wine key. Never know when you need to open a bottle of wine. So these stay in the car all the time. Professional hazard. More light. The same Nebo light that I had in the every car kit stays inside the car, and then headlamp with a bunch of different modes. USB. It's a Milwaukee USB-C charging. This is great. The charger and the headlamp stay in the center console all the time, so we always have that with us. I said the other Gerber multi-tool stays in there. This one has a pocket clip in case I need to take it with me and go, but that stays, so an abundance of multi-tools. Now this little setup, I like this a lot. I used to just use a standard 5-gallon bucket, and it got kind of messy, it didn't really have a top, things like that. So I found this. It's actually a 6-gallon bucket inside of this little outside sleeve. So I have a whole bunch of things, zip ties, different ways to affix things, cables, bungees. I got some wire brushes, some soft bristle brushes. I have a small 10-foot extension cord. This is usually what I use if I'm gonna hook up that air compressor and I want to go around and fill up the tires. I don't need a 25-foot extension cord to deal with, so it just gets it either from the front or from the back very easily to all 4 tires. That's been a nice little saver there. What else do we got? We got some Gorilla Tape in one of these pockets down there, so some nice duct tape type deal. And then ratchets. Carry a bunch of different ratchets, tie things down. I've been loving these like retractable. I have them in 1-inch and 2-inch. I just think when you need a quick ratchet, when you need to tie something down, it's super. My only knock on them, they're bulky. I wish they weren't as bulky and heavy, but man, does it make just, organizing them. And I got 4 of them right there. So when we open up the bucket, I got a few different things. A lot of power accessories here, so I'm going to dig into these. So I carry a NEMA 1450 to a 4 110-volt outlet adapter. So I use this if I'm ever maxing out the power and I need that 30-amp circuit to spread a bunch of different things, whether it's a grill, a heater, things like that. I can spread it out, not overload the circuit. That's also where that adapter comes in, where I use that adapter for it. I have a 25-foot cord and just a small little 2-foot extension to three prongs. So I have a bunch of different setups. I use this a ton for work with power, whether it's powering portable PA systems. I actually have an entire other kit just for that. But you never know when you need power off grid. So plenty of power systems there. The balance of what is left in here is going to be things to secure or tie down, right? So a bunch of different bungees. I have more bungees in the bottom of this. And then I have a whole bag full of traditional ratchet straps. I don't exactly know how many I have, but I got a bunch of different straps that just are all in this nice, neat little bag here to be able to secure down anything I need. Whole bunch of bungees. Bungees come in handy for a quick tie down, or they work in unison with, you know, the tarp and the other stuff I have in case I need to set up or rig up something while I'm somewhere. So plenty of bungees, plenty of tie downs. And then this, having a bucket's always a good thing. It's pretty easy. I just take a few things out of here and now I got a bucket. This thing slides out. And what I like about this setup, what do I got in here? I don't even know what I got in here. Just a strap. What I like about this is it has a little carabiner. So I clip this carabiner right inside to my, my anchor point, and the thing never moves around, right? So it's always at the front of the bed. It takes up so minimal space. It's easy to throw stuff in. It's easy to get out. So I got everything I need pretty compactly and in a pretty organized manner. And I think that is the number one takeaway that I have. If you are in a position where you want to be prepared for something, and if it's not organized and it's not in a way that doesn't feel like it's interfering with your everyday life, for the what if scenarios, you're probably never going to do it because you're going to see it as a pain. If you can find a way to integrate as much stuff as I have, think about all the stuff we just went through here today, and know that I don't ever have to really move any of it anywhere else in the truck. I have full use of the truck bed. Front, I have a little bit of space left in it, but that's pretty full, but it's easy to move that around. And I never have to touch anything in the cab of the truck. It is all put away. It is all ready to go, whether my seats are up, whether my seats are down. So I found that this setup works really, really good for me in an everyday use case where I just kind of live with it. It's there. I know what I got. So do me a favor. If you guys found some value in this and you like it, hit that like button. Please give me a follow, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what I missed. By the way, I'm just thinking about it right now. I don't got a rain jacket. I used to carry a rain jacket in there. I took it out for something, didn't put it back. So I know I'm missing at least one thing. How many other things did I miss? Do you guys think this is overkill? Do you think it's just enough or not enough? Let me know down below. Appreciate the time, and we'll see you all next time. Catch you.